I have had literally 3 months to prepare myself to move to another country. Here's how I'm doing that. If you've been following the journey, I'm gearing up to move to Costa Rica February 3rd. And I made this decision back in October, and I've held on to this decision since October. Um, this video, I really just want to touch base on the things that I'm doing to prepare myself, never having moved to another country before, especially not solo. I've never moved anywhere, like besides like half the city, but I'm making this huge leap. The first decision that I made, like when I returned, was to move back home with family. I made the decision for two reasons. Number one, I decided to move back home with family to save money, of course. I'm an entrepreneur and business can fluctuate sometimes, but I just thought, okay, within this last few months living in Atlanta, how can we deduct our expenses so we have more when we leave? So I moved back home. I'm so grateful that my mom allowed me to come back. They love me. And I've, number two, been able to spend so much time with my family. I like, of course I have a lot of aunts and uncles and siblings, and cousins and stuff, but the only family that I know really is my mom, my baby sisters, and my older brother, like, and a few aunts, so I've never had this like large like family like situation. It's always been this tight knit, like we all we got situation. So I'm going to be leaving that sense of security, and I'm not going to be able to interact with and have sleepovers with my little sisters anymore. And I'm like, I need to cherish this time, these last few months that I have with them. I just wanted to be able to cherish it and be present and be there closer to them. So that was the first decision I made, and if you have the support to do so, I highly recommend it. Of course I was worried about moving back home as an adult. You know how it is, like moving back in with your mom, you can and can't do certain things, and there's all of these rules and trauma, but it's been the best decision ever, and I'm so glad that I made it. And I love my family so much. So second thing, I have a car. I use my car for work. There isn't a lot of time where I'm not in this bad boy, but I still have money to pay on it. And my first thought was to ship it to Costa Rica, like put some of my belongings in it, have it shipped on a boat. But the more research I did, people were saying how like customs can really say however much they want to once you get there. The car ain't got that much. I'm not fully paying it off to let y'all in my business, but I don't want it to get to the port and they're like $3,000 to get your car. Y'all take it back to Atlanta. Like, I don't want it, So, and then at that, this isn't no truck. This is a Hyundai Elantra. It's gonna get tore up on those roads. Most of the roads are paved in Costa Rica, but when you have to go up the hills and the valleys and the back roads, it just would not. No, it's not built for that. It's not built for that. So I was going back and forth, like, should I have to rent it out? Should I see if any family members can like take over the lease and whatnot? But I honestly do plan to be back and forth from Atlanta to Costa Rica, especially like in the first year. And I would like, if you lived in Atlanta before or any kind of country, state, that you need transportation. You need to have transportation to get around, and I want to be able to come back and transport myself in my car, So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to put my car into storage, and I'm going to pause the insurance on it and keep paying the payments. It's the best situation that I feel like I could. It's the best predicament that I feel like I could do with such short notice. I even thought about swapping the lease, but I just couldn't find, I feel like, a trustworthy platform. I ended up finding this platform that was like, we will drive your car to Costa Rica. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, for a split second, I was like, they're gonna drive it like through 5 countries and I'm gonna get it and it's gonna be good. Don't get scammed out here, y'all. Do not get scammed out here. So I didn't end up going that route either, but be careful. So being that I'm an entrepreneur, like, I feel like people's main question is, how are you gonna earn income, like, out of the country? Like, if everybody had passive sources of income, we would all honestly probably be living all different types of places, but our jobs can really root us in some of these states and countries. But being that I'm an entrepreneur, I do massage therapy and I own a holistic wellness company where there are not just massage therapists, but there are IV hydration therapists, there are sound bowl healers, there are breath workers, and just holistic medicine in general. I love it. Y'all should go check it out. MonroeHolistics.com. If you live in Atlanta, you can be serviced. But if not, I have another store as well, which I'm going to get into. So I've had the company for 3 years and I've built it to a point where it can sustain itself. And honestly, I would love for the money to be even looking better, but it's gonna do what it needs to do. Hallelujah, amen. But I also have an online store, right? So it is great whether you have digital products, which I also have digital products, but I have a period underwear company, and it is the future. Like, I get so excited when I talk about it, y'all, because I'm a womb wellness girly and I am a girl's girl, and anything like associated with women's wellness is my bag. Okay, so I created this period underwear company a year ago. It may have been even over a year. Wow, time like really flies. But it is an array of different styles, and they're all eco-friendly and they all womb-friendly, non-toxic products. I will leave the link down in the bio. Go check that out. Support your girl on her wild little journey. And so I have that, which is making me money, but I have not been able to pour as much love and time into it as I really have wanted to, because I've been putting so much more in the passive form of income. But when I'm out in Costa Rica, I do not plan on doing hands-on massages unless I am doing retreats, which is like, y'all, I got a lot up here. And I have a lot out in the works already, but I have digital products as well. I'm a holistic wellness guide, so I have a whole program dedicated for women who are ready to ascend, who are ready to believe in themselves and take leaps in their life. It may not look like moving to Costa Rica, but it might look like shedding the dead weight that has been holding you back from realizing your highest potential. And I walk women through that journey with the tools that I wish I had when I first started my spiritual journey. That is all of the things that I'm going with. Not to mention that I am so close to being monetized on YouTube, and y'all already know that's a whole nother bag. Ideally, in my head, what I've been materializing is that when I get out there, I can focus on doing content. I can focus on creating. You know, I don't even want to call it content creating. I just want to say that I am an artist. I'm taking my perspective of the world and I'm turning it into art and I'm sharing it. That is what God told me to do. So I'm just trying to stand in that and be obedient. The divine is telling me you're going to be good. Like, you don't have to worry about anything financially. I have all the outlets. Now all I have to do is pour love into them and share them more frequently with you all. Whatever I put out into this world, if you decide to support it or buy into it, you will also be supporting yourself, you know? And that's the way that I love to do it. That is how I've been preparing on a financial note. There's still so much unraveling there, but that is where the bag is gonna come from. Mentally, I've been going to therapy monthly and talking to my therapist about how I feel, but I always feel good about it. You know, I always feel really good about it. Emotionally has probably been one of like the more up and down, like roller coaster array of things, because I didn't call myself, you know, I told myself to stay away from relationships, you know, until I left, because it just didn't make sense. I don't like to do long distance. Ugh. I don't like to do long distance relationships. So I was just like, just stay away from all the men's in Georgia. Go ahead, find you a little Juanito when you get out there. But no, y'all, like, emotionally, I've tethered myself to someone, you know, but I am also like, last year, I really learned so much about emotional intelligence. So I'm staying grounded and I'm not losing myself in my feelings. And what is supposed to be will be, and what ain't won't. And where I will be is in acceptance and surrender, period. But also emotionally, because of like my friends, my tribe, it doesn't feel real. And it also feels like my girls are passport ready, so they finna be outside anyway, okay? So I'm really excited for that. And as far, you know, as my family, like, I definitely had a little breakdown the other day, like, wow, you know, this is really happening. I'm really moving away from my family. That definitely did something to my heart. But oh, before I forget, where will I be staying, right? So when I get to Costa Rica, when I touch down in the flight, I'm going to be in San Jose. I have to take a 5-hour ride down from San Jose into Puerto Viejo, where I will be living. They have these buses and stuff. It's like $70 to take the ride. And I'm like, that ain't nothing, whatever. So I'm going to be traveling that way. And then for the first 2 weeks while I'm there, I'm going to be staying at an all women's hostel. And I will put the link to that in the bio. It looks so clean. They got pools, jacuzzis, a full-fledged kitchen, room, separate restrooms, and all of that. So that is going to be what I'm doing for the first 2 weeks. And I have not found a place yet, like an apartment, because they don't have an apartments.com out there, you know, like, it's a little more rustic, you know, like, you gotta know somebody, uncle, that got an extra apartment attached to his house, like, so and that might not always be the situation, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm going to have to figure it out, you know, when I get there. And I'm not even worried about that part. I'm really good at talking to people. I've been learning my Espanol. That's another thing. But before I get into that, let me finish saying that, yeah, I'm going to do that, take that route, and within the first month I want to be in my place, you know. I won't have a vehicle down there, but if I need to get me a moped, fuck it, you know. And that's probably what I will end up doing, depending on how far I am from the beach. My Spanish, I've been on the Mango app daily. It's free if you have a library card. You know the link finna be in the bio, but I've been practicing Spanish frequently. And I've been learning a lot, but I know that when I actually get there, I'm going to be immersed and I'm going to learn so much more, you know, and I'm really excited for that. I'm going to learn the lingo, and like, I've been wanting to become fluent in Spanish for years now, but I learn it and I lose it because I'm not speaking it with anyone. So I have been preparing myself and learning Spanish, because the first time I went, I have my friends that were like super fluent, like ordering for me and communicating for me. I got pulled over. They had to talk to the police for me. It was just ridiculous. So I'm like, no, I want to be able to handle my own shit. I want to know what's going on at all times. So yeah, I've been doing that as well. That is really, I feel like, the grand scheme of how I've been preparing to move to Costa Rica. I really hope that this video was informative enough and maybe helped you if you're considering it. If you're just here tracking the journey of my wild, crazy life, I really appreciate you. Be sure to click that subscribe button and also hit that like button and that notification bell, because I won't just be talking about my experience leading up to leaving, but I will also be vlogging while I'm there, so y'all can get a first-hand experience of life outside of America. It is lit, bro. It is lit. So I really appreciate y'all for being here, and I hope y'all have a phenomenal rest of y'all day. Thanks for tuning in again, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace and love.